Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I said that I wouldn't take more than a week to post another video after the last one, but I took even longer than 2 weeks, which is what I said I wasn't gonna do. So, sorry about that, but I was originally supposed to read my old Wattpad stories on my computer, but then I decided that that would be too hard to have it on the screen, so maybe I'll do it just without it on the screen. But I don't know, I just feel like that wouldn't be as entertaining if it's just me reading and you don't even actually get to see it, so I don't really know. Basically what we are doing in this video is I'm going to be going over all the books that I would like to read by the end of 2025, and it's going to be in like different categories. So the first thing is I'm just going to go over the books that I already have here with me that I haven't gotten to yet, and one that I actually don't have with me, because it's supposed to come in the mail on Monday. It is currently Saturday, and the only reason why I have to say it with these is because it's a part of the same series. It's just that I skipped one of the books when I was ordering the whole series, and that's why I don't have the other one. So, like, you'll see what I mean. And then after I do the ones that I physically have, we're gonna move on to books that I want to read that are already released and have been for a while, with like some exceptions because series go together, and for like one of the series I'm gonna like go over the books and some of them might not be released. And then I also have a section for new releases, and for all of that stuff I have notes on my computer, so if I like look this way, you know why. So let's get started. So the first book that I need to read is Infamous Like Us, and that is the 10th book in the Like Us series out of 13, and it is the third and final book that follows Sully, Akara, and Banks. And then after that one, I need to read Misfits Like Us, which follows Luna and Donnelly, and I'll go ahead and read the back of this one. And this is also a spin-off series of Addicted Calloway, so I'd recommend to read that first because it just won't be the same. But as the eldest daughter of famous parents, Luna Hale is everything but normal. She escapes most days inside the fandom she loves and the fics she writes, and she's accepted that real life just sucks more than fiction, but there is someone who could rival every swoony man inside her imagination. Sorry, I'm already obsessed with Luna and Donnelly, so I like need to get at their books right now. Like, the little snippets we have of them in the other books are my favorite thing ever. And he only lives 3 floors below her. Too bad, he's incredibly off-limits. That's what makes it so good. Her brother's bodyguard, 8 years older, okay, sometimes 9, and the son of meth addicts. The tattooed, shameless bodyguard is the only one her dad really hates. Frick you, Lo. But Luna isn't sure exactly why. I'm not sure exactly why either. She's trying not to be hung up on him. Paul Donnelly is trying not to be hung up on her. With his life among the security team and his friends at stake, he doesn't need to make waves among the Hales, especially the notoriously overprotective Lauren Hale, the self-proclaimed Emperor of Petty. But when Donnelly's 2 best friends set a time and place for a triple date, the countdown to finding a date is on. How dare you, Oscar and Pharaoh. Donnelly has no idea who he should bring. He just knows it can't be her. Luna finds herself in the same predicament as Bad Luck unfolds. Find a date and it can't be him. Yet the more they try to stay away, the more the universe has other plans. Nowhere in Luna's wildest imagination could she have predicted what happens next. I'm actually so excited. I love the little things that we always have on the covers. Like, these covers are so cute, and it has like little Easter eggs from stuff in the book, and they're really cute. Then we have Luna and Donnelly's second and third book. Unlucky Like Us is the first one, and the cover of this one is even cuter. Like, I love the little nicknames too, because it says her human hero, his space babe, and I think that is so cute. The description of these next 2 are really short for some reason, so let's go ahead and read them too. 29-year-old Paul Donnelly has been many things in his life: son of addicts, high school dropout, tattooist, the shameless bodyguard to Beckett Cobalt, the bodyguard camp counselor to the rookies of SFO, Lauren Hale's nemesis, and Xander's wise one. But nothing means as much without Luna Hale, the sci-fi loving writer, a weirdo, sister to his client, the only one he's fallen for. To be with Luna, he has to ensure it's totally, completely, unmistakably safe. That starts with taking care of his family, the family he walked away from as a teenager. He knows he'll survive, he can survive anything. But this time he just wants to survive with her. And this one, look how cute they are. Like, look. And then it has, like, her dog. This one's really thick, though, so this one might just take me forever. Sci-fi writer, heiress, weirdo, and oldest daughter of the beloved and infamous Hale family, 21-year-old Luna Hale has been known by many names, but the title she's coveted these days has been elusive, until now. She can see it. It's in reach. She's more than ready to be his girlfriend. Luna wants to go on an exploration of Paul Donnelly, top to bottom, inside out, to discover all there is to know about her human hero, but he's afraid some skeletons are better left in the darkness. As a death in the family unsteadies multiple futures, Luna and Donnelly see turbulence ahead, but they're determined to steer their ship through the rubble and finally make a landing, this time together. And I read the descriptions of all of the Like Us books, and I was still reading Addicted Calloway because I was trying to determine whether or not I wanted to read the spin-off series or not, because at first I wasn't sure. I don't regret anything, by the way. I'm loving it so far. It's like the best. But I remember ever since I read the Death in the Family thing, I've just been hoping and praying that it's flipping Samantha. And if you know, you know. Like, even if you just read Addicted Calloway, you understand why I would want Samantha Calloway to, like, die. But that's that one. And then the last book that I have here, because that's the end of the Like Us series, that's all of the books. And then we have People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. And I've been wanting to read this one for a really long time, like ever since I found out it was going to be a movie and that Tom Blythe was going to be the lead in it. Like, since that casting was announced, I've been wanting to read it because that was when The Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes just came out, so I was, like, obsessed with him. And I think that was a really good casting choice. At least right now I do, because I haven't read the book. But basically, from what I know about this, I haven't read the back, but I know it follows Poppy and Alex, and they meet each other on vacation, and then they end up seeing each other at that same spot, like, the next year, and then eventually they just start meeting each other there on purpose, and they're, like, best friends, but they only see each other at that vacation, and it's just, like, friends to lovers, and it's a really fun time. And it reminds me a lot of Holiday Romance that I read during Christmas time, because it's like the same plot, just in Holiday Romance they met on the plane, not the actual vacation spot, and it was obviously during Christmas time, not summer. So that's like the only thing that's different, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and read the back for the first time with you. And also, the movie comes out in January. I found that out because I, like, saw it, obviously, but the trailer, like, came out, or, like, the teaser did, and I was gonna watch it, but then I decided I'm not gonna watch the teaser until after I read the book, because obviously, why would I watch the teaser? Anyway. Two Best Friends, 10 Summer Trips. Oh, it's even been the same amount of years as Holiday Romance. That's crazy. One Last Chance to Fall in Love. Poppy and Alex. Alex and Poppy. They have nothing in common. She's a wild child. He wears khakis. She has insatiable wanderlust. He prefers to stay home with a book. Me too. And somehow, ever since a fateful car share home from college many years ago, they are the very best of friends. For most of the year, they live far apart. She's in New York City and he's in their small hometown. But every summer for a decade, they have taken one glorious week of vacation together. Until 2 years ago, when they ruined everything, they haven't spoken since. Okay. I had no clue about that, by the way. Like, I don't know if you could tell on my face, but I had no clue this was a second chance romance, so that's really fun. Poppy has everything she should want, but she's stuck in a rut. When someone asks when she was last truly happy, she knows without a doubt that it was on that ill-fated final trip with Alex. And so she decides to convince her best friend to take one more vacation together, lay everything on the table, make it all right. Miraculously, he agrees. Now she has a week to fix everything. If only she can get around the one big truth that has always stood quietly in the middle of their seemingly perfect relationship. What could possibly go wrong? Okay, that makes me curious about like what happened. That's fun. I like that. Okay. Now let's move on to the next categories. This isn't in any specific order of when I'm going to read them because I'm not exactly sure what order I'm going to read them. It just kind of depends on what I'm feeling and how I decide to go about things, but I just put it in the order that I have it on my notes app and moved it over to a Google Doc on the computer because my notes app on the computer doesn't work. First we have Throttled by Lauren Asher, which is the first book in the Dirty Air series, but I only want to read the first one. Like if I like it enough and we get snippets of other couples in the other books, and I'll probably want to read the other ones maybe, but as of right now I'm only planning to read that first book. And that's simply because I only added this there because I wanted to read Lauren Asher's books. Like, I wanted to read at least one of her books because everybody talks about how much of a good writer she is, and I felt left out, so I wanted to read something of hers too. And basically the series follows F1 drivers, and I remember from the description of that one, like I didn't refresh my memory on these descriptions or anything, but I remember with that one, it was like, she was the sister of like his race car driving nemesis or something like that. So then we got the King of Sin series by Hannah Wong. This one has been here for so long. Like this is the next series that I'm gonna have to read. I'm just putting that out there because I have literally had it on my list since I read the Twisted series in January of 2024, and it wasn't even like the end of January. No, I read this the first week of January 2024. It's literally been almost a year and 8 months. Crazy. And at first I remember I only added it because I heard that like some of the Twisted characters appear in their books because you know like Anna Hong's books are all connected, but now I like actually want to read it for like the plot. And the books that we have, there's going to be 7 of them because they're based off of the 7 deadly sins, so you kind of know what the ones are going to be, but we only have 5 of them out right now, and that is King of Wrath, King of Pride, King of Greed, King of Sloth, I remember when that one came out, King of Envy, which just came out, and then she recently released the art for King of Gluttony, and then we also know there's going to be King of Lust because that's the last deadly sin, but we don't know anything about that one yet. I just saw it on Goodreads, you know? And then the next book I have is Frigid by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and basically I know nothing about this book except for that it was childhood best friends lovers, and the reason it's here is because I saw it in BJ's in the book section, but I already had all of the books that I had gotten from Christmas, and it was like right after Christmas, so I wasn't about to get another book. Like that would not be allowed, and it would also stress me out because I already had like 8 books on my shelf waiting for me at home, but I really liked the premise, so I just added it on my notes app. And then next we have The Do-Over by Lynn Painter, and this is the last book I need to read in like her trio of YA books that go along with Better Than the Movies and Betting on You. And basically it follows Emily and Nick, and Emily, it's the Groundhog Day trope, and Emily is just going through Valentine's Day over and over again, and every single time, no matter what she does to try and avoid running into this guy, Nick, on the same place in this horrible day, she just keeps running into him no matter what, and then somehow they fall in love. I don't really know how when it's the same day over and over again, but I'm gonna find out. And we also saw Nick in Nothing Like the Movies, I know that. And then the next series I have on the list is the Windy City series by Liz Tomford, and I just really want to read this one because it's a sport romance series, except it's a sports romance where like every single book almost is like a different sport. I know there's basketball and there's hockey, I think, and then there's baseball. So I just thought that was really interesting because I'm so used to it being all the same sport in a series and everything. And for that we have Mile High, which apparently is the worst one, Right Move, Caught Up, which is apparently one of the best, Play Along, and then very recently We Rewind It Back came out, and that ends off the series. And I don't know anything about it besides what I just said, so. Then we have One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake, and I want to read this book to dip my toe into romantasy. And I remember this one, I heard about it 2 years ago, so I don't remember anything about it except for that it's an enemies to lovers and it's fantasy, so can't help you there. And then I have The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith, and this one I basically know everything about it, but I looked up a summary so I could just like summarize it instead of spoiling things, because everything I know about it is literally just spoilers. But basically the description that it came up was, just for most of her life, Eden has been a shy, dorky girl whose life is simple and unremarkable. Her life revolves around her family, her clarinet, and her small circle of friends, until one day her brother's best friend, who is like family, assaults her, and Eden realizes her life will never be the same. So yeah, just fun times. But yeah, I already knew that and just some like other stuff. You know what, I'm just gonna, for the people who have read it, I'll go ahead and say the stuff that I know. So if you haven't read The Way I Used to Be, spoilers, go away. Basically, the stuff that I know is I know she had like a crush on the brother's best friend before he did that to her, because she was gonna like tell her brother the next day, but then he was like, oh, you need to get over your crush that you have on him. So then she was like, never mind, I won't tell you. And then I know that people hate her mom too, because she kept trying to tell her mom as well, but she just like would interrupt her mid-sentence and would like just be super annoying. And I also saw a scene when she told her brother and she was like, he raped me, he did, and if you don't believe me, then you're no longer my brother. And that made me so sad. And then I've also seen the thing everywhere from when she was in like the courtroom and everything, and they asked her to recall it, and they were like, do it the best you can with what you remember. And then she in her head was like, I wish it was hard to forget. Me editing, I meant to say in her head she was like, I wish it was hard to remember, not hard to forget. And then she like says the time that she saw on the clock when he came in, and then the time that she saw when he left. And then I also saw, also in the courtroom, where they were like, well, did you say no? And then she was like, well, he didn't ask. So, fun times. And I know that the guy she's with is Josh, and he's like the most popular guy in school, and is the only person she ever told, like the first person she ever told about it and everything. And I also know that she like sleeps around a lot because of what happened to her, and that she gets called a slut by everybody at school, and that's just really sad. And I also know that people compare her and Lizzie Young a lot, so. And then there is a second book to that as well, The Way I Am Now, but I don't know if I'm gonna read that one. I might, or it might just be a If He Had Been With Me situation, where I read If He Had Been With Me, but then I just like didn't read If Only I Had Told Her, because I didn't want more pain. And then I have Where We Left Off by Sapphire Hale, which I didn't know this until I did a little bit more research for this video, that it's the first book in a series. I have to switch over here. It's the first book in the Phoenix Falls series, and basically I just put this on the thing because I saw a TikTok about it, and basically the guy in this book is the girl's mom's boyfriend's son. So like almost step siblings. But we have the description here that I can read. River Linton is finishing her senior year of high school when she runs into Tate Colson. He has sparkling eyes, dark tousled hair, and he was the worst thing that ever happened to her. Tate is a blast from the past that River is determined to avoid, but keeping her distance is easier said than done. The more time that River and Tate spend together, the more that the truth of her past seems to unravel. As River prepares to graduate and begin a life at college, she must decide whether to believe in her memories or to trust her gut. When the time comes to put her heart on the line, only one thing is, for not everything is as it seems. That sentence doesn't really make sense to me, but I'm also like not that smart, so I don't know. And then we can go ahead and move on to new releases. This is what I'm super excited about. So first we have Fake Skating by Lynn Painter that comes out sometime in September. I don't really remember, but it's another YA book of hers, and it's a hockey romance, childhood friends to lovers, and fake dating. I forgot that somehow, even though it's like the title. I'm really excited. And then we have Burn Bright by Krista and Becca Ritchie, which is going to be the first book in the Cobalt Empire series, which again is the same universe as these. And it's about Ben Cobalt, the son of Rose Calloway and Connor Cobalt from the Addicted Calloway series. And basically his love interest is this girl named Harriet Fisher, and she's a punk rock nerd, and they go to college together, and he keeps running into her unexpectedly, and they become friends turned lovers. But she's also like Ben's brother Tom. He has his own band called the Caraways because his middle name is Caraway, and him and his band don't like her for some reason, so that's a little like conflict of interest. And this also, I thought it was going to be a hockey romance, but then I saw where like in the summary that Krista and Becca put on their TikTok and everything about this, it said that he apparently isn't playing hockey anymore, so like never mind. That was slightly disappointing, but it's fine. I'm still so excited. Oh my gosh. Anyway, and then these two, I don't actually know if they're going to be out by the end of the year. I just really hope so. Like one more likely than the other. And the first one is Claiming 10, the next book in Boys of Tommen. I really hope that one comes out by the end of the year. But again, we don't really know anything. We just know that Chloe Walsh has finished writing it. She did a while ago. And then the other one literally just got announced. Like the second half of it just got announced yesterday. But Blake Logan and Wyatt Graham's book in the Off-Campus Universe by Elle Kennedy, because she's releasing another series to do more of second gen. Because in Campus Diaries, only the first book was second gen from Off Campus, and then the other two weren't. She like announced that the girl for this book was Blake Logan, and then she announced Wyatt yesterday, and I was so excited because I literally posted a TikTok saying that if her love interest was anybody besides Wyatt, I was literally going to be so upset. And then people in the comments were trying to argue with me, saying, no, it can't be Wyatt. He doesn't go to Briarview. He's not a hockey player. He's in Tennessee. He's too old for her and all of this stuff. And I was just like, haha, you were wrong. I was right. It's also really exciting because I've shipped them since the Dixon Rule, at least. I think I might have shipped them in the Grimm Effect too. I don't really remember, but at least since the Dixon Rule. But both of those I read last year. And then I read the Charlie Method when it first came out in February. But that's not really important. But anyway, so that's it. Those are the only books I wanted to go over, and that's ended on a really exciting note. So bye bye.